Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 139. I'm joined, as ever, by my co-host, Morgan Hartveld. Good evening, Morgan. I'm not sure I can hear you. What's going on?
You made me mute myself and I forgot to unmute myself. Sorry about that. I said kia ora, Matt, kia ora everyone on the chat, and kia ora to you guys up in Taupo. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very good. Because the show is coming live from Taupo tonight. So I'm at Shea Lawson. Very much looking forward to the Taupo Thermal Throwdown, which is occurring later on this weekend. And I've got with me tonight Ken and Rich from the organising committee. They're sat just to my right, waiting very patiently to come on and meet us shortly. So yeah, we've got quite a lot to get through actually this week. We're going to chat to the guys, but we've also got UDisc ratings. I mean, that was something which came out this week and there's been a lot of talk about it. A lot of people asking what it's all about. So we're going to try and break it down a little bit and maybe give you a better explanation or at least our take on how it works. Then we've got the PDGA rule changes. Now, Morgan, do you remember a couple of weeks ago we had a show where we talked about the proposed rule changes for 2024?
Yep, sure did.
Well, after the feedback that the PDGA received from players and from tournament directors, they subsequently made some changes. So they've listened to the feedback of the masses and have made some adjustments to their proposed changes. So we'll have a quick look at that as well.
Did you notice when they made the post, there was one thing on the front page that they showed for the changes, but then when you opened up the link, went into it, scrolled down, nothing about this particular rule.
Oh, okay. I didn't spot that, so you're gonna have to show me when we get to that a little bit later on what it was. Also, want to talk about the New Zealand Secret Santa, which has absolutely exploded. I was really surprised the number of people who have signed up. We'll tell you a little bit more about that and how it works. We'll go over the results of the two tournaments that happened at the weekend just gone at the Breeze, and I'm quite cautiously avoiding trying to say the name of the place. Te Pohoi and Aussie Hanna Hot Rounds, which also occurred last weekend. There's been huge changes to the top 20 in New Zealand in both MPO and FPO. So we'll be checking out the power rankings as well. Finally, we've got tips for this weekend in MA1 and MA40. There's two very, very competitive divisions. And we'll be giving our tips on the favourites going into this weekend at Taupo. But to start us off, as ever, Morgan, take us through the South.
All right, Matt. Sorry, changed my screen right there. Starting off in the South, we've got down in Queen's Park. He's a traveller these days. We've got Mr. Russell King from Queenstown with an 11 under. Joined with him is Norman Tudor and Andrew Barnett. Yes, this is this week's one, isn't it, Matt? Just checking.
Yeah.
This is the one you've just sent me. Yeah, no, I just had a bit of deja vu. I was like, did I read this out last week? Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, on to Chingford Park, we've got Hanapi's Wart. We've got Hanapi's Wart with a 4 under at Chingford, and then Tom Mackay with a 7 down at Brockville. Coming up into Queenstown with a -6 at the Gardens, that's Elliot. Tucker Beach, we've got guess who? Gustin Gistrin with a 11 down. The man shot another 2 down just today. Unbelievable shooting out there for Gus. Shooting on Wanaka with Ely Point and Ollie Webb and Sebastian Feltman, who passed down south with the Webb. Both shot one par. Jumping up in a little par, no mid-disc. Every week with a -8. They're going to head up to Christchurch's Jelly Park with the Arn Burgess. Shot 14 under, and that's hot score this week with Jelly. Ascot Park, Sam Page with a 6 over. Hot score. And then we've got Queen's Park, we've got Jeff there with a -6. And no one at Brooklyn this week shooting straight up the river with Steve Martin, the 6 over par. How we're doing with the North.
We'll go through the North in a moment. I think Morgan might be having some South Island internet issues currently. So apologies for that. If he keeps cutting out, then hopefully we'll manage to keep him. Starting up in the hills.
Shall
Brady Cush.
Shall I come back in, Matt?
You can have a go. Yeah, have a go. See if that works. Brady Cush takes out the hot score at Berrenport up in the hills with a 4 under par. Andy Davey across the water at Hikoikoi, who shoots 6 under. There were no hot scores at Harcourt. The weather has been terrible in Wellington this week, so I'm not really too surprised. It's been a bit of a washout. Johnny Wake at Linklater played very well last weekend and played very well, shooting -8 in Palmerston North. Jim shoots -3 at Maryland's. Philip Waldrop hits -7 at Spa Park Black. And on the McLaren's Long, it's Angus Webb who hits 12 under at McLaren's Long, which seems an incredible score. I might have to check that. Philip Waldrop rounds out the North Island with a 13 under par at Henderson. So congratulations to him. So yeah, they're all our hot scores for the week, Morgan. I'm going to bring in our guests now. And so I'm joined this evening by Ken and Rich, who are organising the Taupo Thermal Throwdown. Good evening, gents. How are you?
Good evening,
Matt. Evening, Morgan.
Very good. Hi, Morgan.
Evening, fellas. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. You've got a big weekend ahead.
Yeah.
The work's been done already, so a few finishing touches tomorrow. We'll be ready to go.
Spa Park's been a course that's been in the ground for a few years now.
2.5 years.
2.5 years, and a lot of the work that has been done in terms of the course layouts, etc., is already in place. So, what's been some of the biggest things you've had to organise and sort out for this event?
Well, the main thing for this event was to try to play the course as it is. We're playing all 3 of the 18-hole layouts. Some slight changes. That's just to keep the course flow going.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was the main thing, to keep it nice and easy. So it's my first tournament director outing, and I've learned from the last couple of tournaments that come on not to put too much out there, I think.
Yeah. I mean, and you've got quite a unique angle in this tournament in terms of it being an amateur only event, which we don't see too many of in New Zealand, honestly. We may have done, I'm sure there were many in the past when there just simply weren't as many pros, but this is, you've deliberately said, look, almost we don't want pros at this event. This event is for amateurs. Talk us through kind of what led to that decision.
Well, it was combined with the angle we're going for the Taupo Classic. So we're really been pushing to make that a serious professional event, and know that a lot of the newer players wouldn't get into that tournament.
Okay.
So having this as a forerunner for them to come and play. And we've got so many new members in the club recently. Yeah. And we opened the registration to the club first to give those guys that avenue in there. Yeah.
We'll have a look at the PGA site, which has got all the players listed on it a little bit later on, when we come to do our picks. But there seems to be a lot of names on there, a lot of people who maybe haven't played tournaments before. Are you finding that this is the first time out for many people?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's I think people who are only just joining the club at the same time as joining the first tournament. So yeah.
So really what's the layouts and courses that we'll be playing this weekend?
So the MA3s and FA3s and juniors are playing the blue layout, with everybody else apart from MA1 on the red, and MA1 playing the black layout. Slightly different. There's 20 holes for each round instead of 18.
Wow.
So
okay.
We've added 2 more holes in to bump up the numbers, basically.
Yeah. Excellent.
So those holes are in existence on we call the Blue 9, the Family 9, and there's they're certainly worth playing. They're both fun holes to play. One in particular I find to be, it's a nice uphill hole that's plays a lot longer than it shows on the sign. And I think it was wise of Rich to, they say that we sold out in 6 or 7 minutes, and it was good to. It was
incredible.
Yeah.
People, one of those people.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I was told by others who, they sort of got distracted for a few minutes and missed it. Ended up on the wait list. I think they might have gotten in, but so I think being able to add those holes in, which are certainly worth playing, like I said, to get the numbers, and the demand was clearly there for, like you say, this is an amateur event, and I think still the bulk of players out there want to do something like this that's a bit less intimidating and a bit more, I don't know, low barrier to entry sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you say that, which we were talking earlier on, that, and we might cover this actually when we get to the UDisc scores. But I'm just 1 second going to see if Morgan's not been able to join us back in, but he'll join us, I'm sure, very shortly. There's 130,000 active PDGA members. There's 1.3 million active UDisc members. So there's a lot of people out there playing disc golf who don't play tournaments, right? And tournaments like this are look to be a great entry level entry into, hey, look, this is something you might want to do a little bit more competitively than maybe a round with your mates or your family or whatever.
Yeah, and I think what we were seeing a lot last year, especially with the tournament that we were part of with Taupo Thermal, being the North Island champs and the nationals in South Island, tournaments got very big and very serious very quickly. Yeah. And I think there were probably players who maybe thought, maybe I'm sort of being left behind here a little bit, and maybe things got a little bit too scary. And so the game in New Zealand is still very much to be honest, in its infancy, I think. And I think it's really important to keep, we're also going to try to do a juniors tourney as well, which don't need to necessarily plug, but I think it's just part of that story of let's just keep that grassroots going to get more and more in, to keep it less scary, to keep it, fun and casual and feel more like just a regular game with your friends versus, oh my gosh, I'm on a card with so-and-so and look how far they throw. That'll
be me this weekend, by the way.
Right. Me every time.
I just want to touch on what you said about the juniors, because you're doing a lot of work with juniors and schools in the Taupo area. Talk us through a little bit about some of that, because some of it's really inspiring. Steve was talking to me about some of the stuff you're doing, and I think it's incredible. What are you doing?
Yeah. So everything I do is through an organization called, well, I shouldn't say everything, but 99% of what I do is through an organization called Kiwi Sport, which many Kiwis know and love. Growing up, they get all the clubs from their local neighborhoods to come, whether that be, football or rugby or cricket or netball or whatever it is. And Kiwi Sport has in recent years tried to push for more niche activities. And so woman here named Sue McLean, who's a lovely lady. She came to me because she works with one of our members, Ahadi. And she said, look, we've had the orienteering club go into the schools and it blew up, and parents got on board, kids got on board. And we thought disc golf is one of those, very cool activities, cool sports highly accessible, deserves the love. And so she got in touch, and I used to be a teacher in a previous life and a coach in a previous life. And so I think I missed a bit of that. And I was glad. So it started last year in term 4, and I went to 10 different schools, and each school's 5 sessions each. So that's 50 sessions times 20 to 30 kids, 25 average. I'm not sure what the math is, but there's a lot of kids with discs in their hands. And there's been help along the way. The community sports grant, we have 9 baskets now. I don't take all 9. That's a lot for a school field, but I take 5. And that's perfect. And then this year I'm doing it again. Last year, there was one piece that I felt like was missing, and that was I didn't have anything to get those kids to then come to later. So a secondary, a hook to bring them in. It was the club, join the club, sure, get a tag, sure. But that's for a kid, that's a little bit scary. So this year I wanted to do a little bit more. So I started an after school program. Luckily with my work situation, that's allowed for it. And so I've got kids that come on Mondays now in term 4, 3:30 to 5. We do about a half an hour of skills stuff. And it's good for me. I'm happy working with kids that are, I'm doing this for kids years 5 to 8. So they're sort of 9 to 13 years old, very beginner. And considering my skill level, that's sort of a comfortable place for me to be. I'm not trying to teach someone who's 900 rated. And then I've got a tournament that we're organizing for December 3rd, which will be join the club for $10 and you get a free entry into this event. And it'll be, there's prizes and giveaways, and I've gotten a little bit of sponsorship locally. So yeah, we're not expecting to get hundreds and hundreds, but if we can, get a few dozen, that'd be amazing. And
but when you look at it about, you compare a few dozen to maybe a few years ago where there were not a few dozen.
Yeah.
Those numbers in 10 years time.
Right.
That's where you see the difference, right? And I think that it's absolutely fantastic, the work that you're doing. It's all great stuff.
Yeah.
And a really good model, actually, that you're probably refining, but a really good model that is transferable to other places around.
Yeah, and a lot of other guys around the country have gotten in touch, and we've talked about, it's open book really. So if anybody's ever keen, anybody's watching,
get in contact.
Let me know. I mean, I've got my lesson plan. It's pretty. I went to so Steve Lawson's wife Alice works at Taupo Intermediate, and she's been asking to get me in for her class. So I did that today, and yeah, it's pretty much like clockwork now. It's it all goes, fairly smooth, fairly well run. The kids enjoy it, and no one gets hurt. So it's pretty good. Because it is
a bonus
when you give 28 kids discs and you're like, don't throw it until I blow my whistle. So there's definitely, I've refined that quite a bit, and I feel pretty comfortable with what I'm teaching now, and I'm very happy to share all the details down to the exact words I say. And then this juniors tournament, this is the first time for me being a TD and like a proper TD, I guess, even though it'll be a very casual tournament, which I'm happy with. And yeah, once we do that, I'm more than happy to share how that all went and how we got participation, and hopefully grows and grows from there. So
that's incredible. I think that's a fantastic story and a fantastic piece of work that's going on. And in a few years' time, we're going to start seeing nationals tournaments that are just chocked full of people from Taupo, right?
That's the idea. Yeah, that's the goal. It's going to
be the new. It's going to be the new center. If you're allowed to continue at the pace you're at, and no one else catches up,
right,
then everyone else is going to be in for a bit of a surprise. Morgan, we've got you back, I think.
Oh, good to be back, Matt.
Yeah, your internet connection is a little bit more stable there.
You know what? I had to put the hammer down and just go, look, I'm taking the lounge because I need to be here on the podcast. Get out of here. Sorry, babe. Love you.
Excellent. So it's coming up to, it's Thursday night. You've got practice day tomorrow. A lot of people are going to be arriving. Then Saturday, we've got 2 rounds on Saturday, 1 on Sunday morning. Yeah. In terms of last minute things to do, is there anything left?
Oh well, I'm not playing in the tournament,
okay.
So
a lot of tournament directors would applaud you for making that decision.
So that means I want to make sure I play 2 rounds tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Get out there.
Yeah, I want to get more practice than everyone else. So. I think the rest of the work is to be done in the morning whilst everyone else is watching rugby, and
that's right.
And then a quick dash over to the ninja course to set up for the evening event. So that's
on Saturday night.
I think that's going to be the hardest,
hardest
work part. Yeah.
Now you've really, because this is an amateur tournament, you don't have any pro prizes to pay out, right? You'll also have prizes for the winners of respective divisions, but
the prizes for the divisions are trophies for the winners and medals for first, second, and third as well.
Oh, fantastic!
So all the value is actually going into the players' pack.
Oh, wow!
And the hospitality, should we say?
That's fantastic. And you've got a disc in front of you that I desperately want to show people, which is presumably part of the players pack.
Yeah.
And this is a what's the disc?
Kahu XG.
This is a Kahu XG. This disc, or one very similar, will be in people's players packs.
Yes.
So if you're coming along tomorrow or Friday or Saturday, you'll get your hands on one of these on Saturday morning when you're dishing those out. Is that right?
So this is our new club stamp.
Oh yeah.
So
great,
it's not a tournament specific disc, but it's a design that was done by Bob Gentle, combined with our logo. So it was last seen in the 2021 Classic for the Spa Park opening.
Yep.
So we brought it back, and the idea, we want you guys to throw it. You can keep it as a memento if you want, but
lots of people will have different decisions.
We can replace them. that's fair enough.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Guys, I just actually want to rewind back just a couple of minutes with Matt asking you've got all of these things to do. Like before, when we were in the green room and I was running around like a headless chook trying to get myself packed for tomorrow, I could hear you guys talking and you're going over, right, we've got to do this, we've got to do this, we've got to do this. Now, obviously, it's all planned, and this is so familiar to me, but this is obviously all planned. But when it comes down to it, there's some, how do I want to put it? There's just like a crazy, frantic, not panic going on, right? Like you feel focused, everything's happening. But how do you feel? Are you ready? Are you ready to take it on right now?
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
good
I think
stuff.
Compared, there's a big difference between this and between Taupo Nuiatia in March. With the two courses, and that was a big job, and it felt like a mountain that was going to be quite hard to climb. Whereas this feels like I don't know, I guess like more normal, and it's like stuff's just gonna happen. Like I'm off work tomorrow, and I'm just gonna be out there plugging away with a few things, and it'll get done. So
and I've run a few of the league nights we've had, and the last minute who's going to turn up for the leagues and sort the cards out, and you're waiting until 2 minutes before, and then you see somebody pull up in the car. It's like, whereas the beauty of selling out this event straight away is I kind of put the cards together the following week. So all I have to do is I've shuffled a few waitlisters that's come on board, and so
get all that done.
Yeah, I know there's going to be last minute stuff to do.
Yeah. There seems to always be just a few extra things right down to almost tea time where you're just like, oh, I haven't forgotten this, but let's do this as well. This will make it better. I hope you guys have a smooth weekend. Though. It sounds like you've got everything under control.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to it. Like, Taupo's won a tournament, and even indeed a course I've not played yet, but it's a tournament I've been meaning to play for several years, and finally got my ass in gear and sort it out. So very much looking forward to the next few days. Gents, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. As I said, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. So I'm super stoked. I can't wait for tomorrow and the next few days. I think you're doing a fantastic job with the juniors in Taupo, and I've done a couple of those sessions similar sessions to what you described with kids before. To do the number that you're doing and churn through that many is incredible. So
thanks,
well done. Good stuff. Keep it up, and we'll certainly we're bound to hear from either you again or one of the kids that you've coached. I'm sure when they step up and start winning some big tournaments. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great weekend as well.
Thanks, gents.
I hope that the tournament directing goes well and that everything runs smoothly. I'm sure it will.
Sweet. Thank you, Matt.
Cheers, guys.
Excellent.
See you, Morgan.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
There we go. It's always a. I mean, you're a seasoned tournament director. I've done the odd tournament, mostly leagues, but I've done the odd tournament. It's that kind of calm before the storm where you're kind of going, what's possibly going to go wrong? I think I've ticked all the boxes, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I mean, like we coming into every event, we start with the whiteboard in the garage, and then it sort of gets transferred to paper and on the iPad when we headed down to the tournaments. But there still seems to be things that just pop up out of nowhere within the last 24 hours, 12 hours. That you're just like, oh, I've got to get this sorted. And somehow, no matter how much planning you've done, there is always something.
There's always something, always something. Right. Now, there were 2 big tournaments played over the last weekend, which the Tepohui Breeze and the Hanna Hot Rounds. I'm quite almost glad that this tournament's in our back mirror now, so I don't have to say that name again until next year. But anyway, let's go through the results of the Breeze first up. And so there it is. Oh, no, it's not. 1 second. There it is. So the winner was Joseph Berry, who takes out by 2 shots. And his second round,
1023 rated.
1023. But we must tip the cap to Josh Love Paddock.
Oh, wow.
Put in a 10. Wow. Off the AM layout. He beats everybody else by 5 shots. Henry Pearson was the next highest with a 1,000 rated 55. So highest rated round this year that's been shot in New Zealand.
Could well be, for sure.
I don't remember a better one. A better one just off the top of my head. But Joseph Berry takes out the win. Jonathan Wake and Conor McKinstry tie for second place. Johnny Wake, new player, just hit the scene and he's just exploded.
Sure has. Yeah, sure has. Absolutely banging scores.
Not been playing long and has been putting in some absolutely fantastic stuff. Josh Love Paddock in 4th and Jake Brennan and Mark Dackett tied for 5th as the pros. And Luke Hempel, another newbie, relative newbie, wins the MA1 division relatively comfortably, highlight being a 990 rated. He's out the honours in FA1 with a win over Paul Wilson and winning the ladies divisions overall. And Ryan Kitto, congratulations to Ryan, takes out MA40 with 3 very strong rated rounds, highlighted by a 9 plays much higher than his rating would suggest. FA40, Kath Headley takes it out by 10 shots. And Josh Weaver's logo was also the tournament assistant tournament director, I think.
Oh, wow.
Shoots +2. And a special mention to Ty Engenkel. Have I said that right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 14 years old, from Hastings, and finishes second in MA2 with a tournament rating of, what do we reckon that's going to come out as?
Yep.
Probably somewhere in the region of 9, and beats a relatively strong, certainly a very deep MA2.
Yeah, 30 players deep. That's incredible.
Brendan Rombold wins MA3 by 4 shots over Andy Dean, and Rebecca James Longville takes out
Victoria Scala hasn't arrived back to my house yet to her apartment, so one would assume she's still partying, still celebrating.
I think she's probably still partying. Over to the Hanna Hot Round, and Andrew Popham takes this out by a shot over a Louisville player from Westport who comes in second place. Sebastian Faulkner in third. Dylan Deadman Narby, good performance by him.
Well, we got told to look out for Dylan. He was one of the original course designers. Is that what we got told last week? The original course designer. We got told last week.
Well,
that was their insider tip. So yeah, he's done well there.
Megan Merrick wins over Jessica Wozniak by 7 strokes, and it's Kevin Carpenter who wins MA1 in a playoff over Dmitry Sabatov. John Scott in third, score of -2, 8 shots ahead of Andrew Falcon and Arnie Burgess. Sarah Keane takes out FA 40 Cornell and beats out Scott Walker in a playoff in MFA 3. Sam Lykin taking out the honours in a pretty competitive junior division.
Yeah, and he's played a couple of rounds above his rating there, 946 and 926. So yeah, especially that first round, some hot shooting. Hot shooting.
We've got to keep an eye on.
Yes, we do.
On Sam, honestly.
Yes, we do.
His scores have been very good. Right. Okay. Now let's go. What are we going to talk about now?
Oh, what have we got? We've got the Queenstown Gardens League.
How is the league going, Morgan?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, really, really good. I didn't lose it this week. I played all right, so it's going all right for me. But yeah, lots of players, at least 40 every week, so consistent. Bunch of new faces this week. A couple of them didn't end up scoring, so probably maybe around the 45 mark this week.
All right. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. The league in Wellington here doesn't start until the 1st of November. So date for your diary. It's up at Harcourt Park. And so make sure you get yourself there if you're keen to play in the league. 6:30 on a Wednesday night at Harcourt Park. Meet by the tee pad of hole 4. Okay. Let's have a look at UDisc. Now, Morgan, did you see this come out? Did you see the UDisc ratings come out?
I've only seen the headline matter. I haven't looked into it yet.
Right. Okay. So many people would have seen this, and they would have noticed that there's little numbers now by the side of their score. So let's just have a quick look at what UDisc have got to say about this. What they're doing is they're starting to rate rounds that you play. So you have to have the certain version of UDisc. So make sure you update that in your app store. And you've got to be a pro member as well. But all of the rounds that you play now will be giving a rating, providing they're kind of like they're played on a layout that is currently being used, and there's a smart layout within UDisc. Now, the rating that you get, is based on an algorithm that calculates the difficulty of the course, all of the scores that have gone into that course, and compares it against all of the courses kind of worldwide, and then gives you a number at the end. Okay,
but it doesn't calculate it against the players that you're playing against.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't count it against the players you're playing at. So if you shoot, for example, today earlier on, I went and played the Palmerston North Linklater course. Okay, and at Linklater, I shot a 5 under par. On the family-friendly front nine, which was enough for a 187 rating. Now, interestingly, if I went back tomorrow and played the same course and shot 5 under, it would come out at 187. Okay, and it doesn't matter what the weather was doing. It wouldn't matter whether it was raining heavily or there was a storm blowing or it was windy as hell. Doesn't matter. I'm always going to get that rating for that score, just like anyone else playing around will get the same rating for that score. Okay. So a lot of people, I've heard a few people been saying, well, what's the point of this? Is there any kind of reason for it? And actually, I was discussing this with some of the guys earlier on. Yes, there is. There's some great uses for it. Namely, we've got a little chat going about who can hit the highest rated round, and now it doesn't matter what course you go to or what thing you're playing. So suddenly, comparing a score at Berrenport to a score at Harcourt Park is now possible. Okay. Yes, it assumes kind of peak conditions, if you like. You got to almost say, on the best kind of conditions day where everything's going my way, then this is what the ratings are similar. Brian Rawlins tells us that -2 at Maryland's is 202. Yeah, I think this kind of 200 mark is a goal for a lot of people to try and aim for. Honestly, Young shot 7 down at Linklater, and that came out as 201. Because I'm a beta tester in UDisc, I've got ratings now that go back in time. So earlier on in September, I shot one under par at Hardcore Park. That came out as 213 rated. Okay, and for a 1 under at Hardcore Park. So I think that goes to show that for the model, the way I think it works is that they look at all of the people who regularly play the course and score it on UDisc, and your score is compared against that kind of bell curve, if you like. So what I suspect will happen is that rounds that you think are very good on courses that are very easy, right? And I'm going to describe an easy course as being somewhere like Jelly Park, somewhere like Queenstown Gardens, somewhere like, to a degree, Queen's Park down in Invercargill. Places where it's not unheard of to get a double-digit under par score, right? It's going to be a lot harder to hit those higher ratings. If someone shoots 10 down at Hardcore Park, okay, then that's breaking the course record and is an incredible round and the kind of round that you get once every 10 years, okay? And so at harder courses, such as Hardcore Park, such as McLaren's, such as White Tower, so some of the real tough courses out there, I think those are the ones, if you want to score highly, you're going to have to play well at those courses in order to get high-rated rounds. I just want to call UDisc out because they've done something which is a personal pet peeve of mine. They've put the scale is 1 to 300 plus.
Yeah.
And this was really because every number is 1 to 300 plus, isn't it? I mean, it's just confusing because it makes people think that the cap or the ceiling is 300. It's not. There is no ceiling. The ceiling is infinite.
Are they saying 1,000 rated? Are they, sort of saying 1,000 rated is the same as 300?
I don't think so. But what they are saying is that they reckon about 1% of scores will be over 300. So we should expect to see it. And I think I saw on Sebastian Faulkner's socials this week, he posted a score that was close to 300. I could be wrong. Sebastian, if you're listening, I hope I haven't got that wrong, but it was certainly in the high 200s if it wasn't. So look, let us know in the comments below, what is your highest round that you've got in your UDisc career? Mine sits at 213 for my Hardcore Park 1 under par. Well, my best at Hardcore Park is 5 under par. So if I was to shoot that and with the ratings, I wonder what it would come out as. Today, I played 3 rounds, and the highest I could muster was that 187 at Linklater. But I have to say, played Ohakuni and Linklater today, and 2 lovely courses to play. Both not new. Linklater wasn't new, but Ohakuni was new. So if you're passing Ohakuni, many people will be in the next day or two, then make sure that you stop in for a round. It's a lovely little 9-hole course. Lots of South Island par 4s, Morgan. There's a couple of 80-meter
South Island par 4s.
You feel right at home in there. However, you've got to be careful. The river that runs round the course is in play on nearly every hole, and it ate one of Brett's discs. He threw into the river. I threw into the river nearly 3 times, but each time managed to catch a bush or a low-hanging branch, and it knocked me back onto the bank. Gary threw into the river, and the river just took the disc. It just whipped it down. We had to chase it down, and it wasn't until it got caught under a rock that we were able to capture it. So that river is in play all the time. So you can't you got to give it some respect. But lovely course. So if you're in Ohakuni, then make sure that you stop in for a round. Now, we wanted to have a look also at the PDGA rule updates.
So the one that I was talking about before, Matt, was on the little cutout. God, I can never remember the name. Yeah, on their Facebook page. The caption is the word I'm looking for. The caption image was. I'm just trying to think of what the rule was. I was just thinking about scoring for everybody scoring. All 4 players on the card have to score. That was the caption, and then you go into it, scroll down, it's nowhere to be seen. So they haven't even talked about it.
Do you know why?
Because it's stupid.
Well, I'm not sure that's what that's what they mean. This is I think the post. This is for the post I think that you're talking about. So you talked, we listened. Some of the highlights from the results of the public comment regarding rule change of 24. Non-members can still play C tiers. This is something which came up previously, and so non-members will this year. Let me try something a second. I'm getting comments that the audio is pretty bad. Just keep on.
So yeah, guys, while Matt's just sorting that out, yeah, non-members can still play C tiers, no D tiers yet. Pace of play for groups is clearer and more enforceable, and everyone's keeping score in 24.
Which isn't a change to the what they proposed, and I think that's what this post is about, right? So this post I think is saying here are the changes to the proposals we initially made, and because that rule isn't changing, they're not proposing they change it. That's why it's not listed. It's staying the same what it was previously. So they've made some changes to the pace of play in terms of who, in terms of the definitions over what constitutes playing quickly and stuff. And basically, what it means is that everybody on a card can get penalized if the group is moving slowly. And so it's everybody's responsibility to ensure that they hurry the group along if they feel that if it feels that it's lagging. In terms of the tiers, they're pretty much staying as they are. But overall, I'm not against, well, indeed, any of the changes. I think everybody should be keeping score. That's not a problem, I don't think. Yeah, I know that's not a favourite for everyone.
I'm just on the actual PDGA website. Oh no, this is August 23rd. Okay, no, this is proposed, not actual changes. Right.
That's it. So take a look at the PDGA website and the results of the public comment on the proposed rule changes. Any of the rule changes that you're upset about, we'd like to hear from you. If you Hello, I think we might be back. I hope we are.
Yes, looks like it.
I think we might be back now. So if you're in chat and you can confirm that you can see us for the second time, then please let us know.
Sorry, team. Probably too many tabs open on both of our screens here. Yep, Burgess, we're back. Thank you, brother.
Excellent. My apologies for that. It just dropped out there for a second. Right, what we're going to talk about now. We are going to... Right, first up, I've just noticed something. We have clocked over 250 subscribers on YouTube. So hooray, well done to everybody. Thank you so much for subscribing. It really does make a difference. I know it's only clicking a button and then you get our notifications or whatever. But we're up to 251. That's very correct.
Greg Dawson.
So that means that we're going to do a giveaway, which means we've got to sort something out to give away. We'll have a think about that over the next week and come back to you. So you're going to want to tune into next week's show number 140, because we'll be doing our giveaway. Keep an eye out on the on our socials. We may try and drop a few hints as to what we're giving away.
And you'll have to be in stream to win, guys. So you'll have to be here.
You will. That's absolutely right. Give away that Kahu XG, Matt. What? What? No. Maybe I will. But honestly, it looks so beautiful that I don't really want to. This one will probably go up on the wall for when I get back to Wellington. We'll figure something to give away, and we'll let you know what that is next week. Thank you so much for subscribing. It makes a real difference.
Awesome job, everyone, and congratulations, Matt. That's an awesome achievement for the stream, for the pod.
It's very good. It's very good. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Something which is also really good that has had a lot of people sign up for it so far is Secret Santa. Morgan, we spoke about this last week. Now, Christmas is, how many days is Christmas away? Do you know?
Oh God, no.
How many days? I'm just going to ask Google now. How many days?
25, 35, like 36,
67, 36. Did you say?
Yeah. Sorry, 2 months. Yeah. Sorry, 2 months. I need to go to bed.
It's 67 days away. Which for a lot of people, that's too far away to start talking about Christmas. However, we want to get in early, and the reason why is because we want to launch New Zealand Disc Golf Secret Santa. So the way it works is that you sign up on the Google form, and I'll just put the Google form link into the chat in a second. And what you do is you sign up on the link, and then in early December, you'll get sent, early December / late November, an address of somebody who also signed up to Secret Santa. And then you send that person a Secret Santa gift. You keep it secret. You don't write your name on it. You don't say love from this person. All you do is you send them a package. Now, the package needs to be a minimum of 1 premium plastic disc. Okay, so we're talking Star, Champion, Atomic.
Minimum.
Minimum. I've spoken to a few people who are thinking big on this, and are gonna go hard. So look, you're gonna want to get involved, because I think it's gonna be good fun. There's a Facebook group as well that will sort of have some of the remind people of the dates and stuff. I'll just put that up on screen as well. The advantage about the Facebook group is that you can stay in touch with all of the people who are signed up, and also there'll be questions on there. Why haven't we got it? We got it. Nope. Hang on a second.
Nope.
We're having a little bit of
technical difficulty there, Matt.
We got it back. It's the New Zealand Disc Golf Secret Santa Facebook group. So we ask questions on this group to figure out if somebody wanted to send you a particular type of thing. What should they send you? Like, this one's had 20 comments to it already. We've had get as many people as possible involved, getting into the Christmas spirit, and sending lots of discs around New Zealand for people to open at Christmas. And who doesn't enjoy a mystery box, right? It's one of my favorite things about receiving discs, especially if you don't know what's in them. It's fantastic. I love it. So I can't wait. Get involved. Join on the link that we've put into the comments, and yeah. Right, let's go over some picks for this weekend, shall we? Taupo Thermal Throwdown.
Sure thing.
Let's have a quick look at the I was going to say the line for this weekend. So the MA1
Toby
division, Toby Gently.
Yeah.
He's the highest rated player coming into this round. However, there's some strong.
Yeah, I mean, you can look down that field, and obviously I'm not as familiar with all the North Island players as you are, but there's a number of names that are jumping out at me. And again, for me, Mike Foley's jumping out again.
Yeah, I think Mike Foley may be a doubt, or he may be in. I think he was 50 last I heard. However, he is obviously clearly capable of putting around us, putting some that I suspect will be there or thereabouts. I think Johnny Wake will be near the top. I think Luke Hempel will be near the top. I think Young Ha will be near the top. And Toby Gentle, it could well be those four which make end. However, outside picks, Ben Morrison's capable of putting together a good round, and you can't count out any of the local Taupo mid-north.
The name Luke Hempel keeps coming up on the show, so I'm going to call him for the win. Luke Hempel.
Well, that's a very bold call. I'm gonna say that Johnny.
Full of them.
I'm going to say that Johnny Wake's going to take it out, but we'll see what happens. Over in FA1, Charlotte Dunkley and Whitmore go head to head. I think this is the battle that we're going to see this weekend in FA1. Kath Headley plays well. I think between and indeed Katie Hoffman. I think between those four, it's going to be
I'd like to see Amy come out on the top in this one. She's been pushing a lot this year, so time's now, Amy.
Absolutely. Over into MA40, the best division, and the favourite in this division is Tepohoi, and Richard McDonald is second favourite. In this, closely followed by Hayden Shaw.
No, Matt Drake, third highest rated player here. What's the go there? I was waiting for you to drop it.
Look, it's a new course, playing the course tomorrow, and enjoying myself. I don't suspect I'll be troubling the podium or any places close to it. I'm looking forward to playing with some players that I've not played with before, as well as probably some players that I play with every week. So it'll be fun. Down into MA2, and this is also a very, very tight division. Josh Weavers is capable of putting together a good tournament, as we saw last weekend, and there's also a lot of strong players further down that field in MA2. Callum popping up.
Does keep popping up.
Wouldn't be surprised if he could put together a hot round. I know that Ezra Robinson is also capable of putting a strong round together out of Palmy if the MA3, lots of people playing. You can tell people who have played fewer tournaments because their PDGA rating is in white colour. It's not in the bold, which means they're not a propagate yet. But lots of new competitive division, and then FA3, 6 ladies will battle it out over the course of the weekend. Wang played well.
I remember that name popping up.
Her name came up. That's what we think. Let's just have a quick what the data analytics team say in terms of the Secret Santa dates. Actually, that just while we're on it, 12th of October, that's the launch. So we've already launched. The deadline day is the 26th of November. That's when you need to have signed up by. So you've got a bit of time yet. We're going to keep banging on about it on the show. So make sure that you get your sign up for that in as soon as you can. 26th of November, join the Facebook group and get yourself on the list. The names will be sent on the 1st of December or around that date between the 26th deadline for sending packages. That's the New Zealand Post deadline for sending economy packages. So if you want to hand deliver it because the name you get happens to live in the same town as you, that's absolutely fine. Just leave it on their porch or around the back. So you can do that up until Christmas Day. That's up to you. Then upcoming tournaments, we've got the Taupo Thermal Throwdown this weekend. The Waimate Spring Sling is champs next weekend, sold out. Rapid Rumble in Masterton weekend after that, sold out. South Island Twisel, that's fast coming up on us. We really need to pay some attention to that and start looking fish. Sold out. Waihitapu in Lake Ohau. Registration is now open, and we've seen some sweet drone shots. Morgan, you've been having.
Yeah, man, we shot up there on Saturday to go and do that. First time flying the drone around any sort of trees. I'm a bit of a noob with it, so the videos aren't perfect, but they came out pretty good, and my editing skills are sort of getting better and better each video along the way. Maybe you should pop up the Sweet Chain one at the end of this.
We'll see if we can find it. Yes, absolutely. And then Faultline Fury is selling out and is on the 25th, 26th of November. Temuka Tussle weekend after that on the 3rd. And then we really enter a real jam-packed period of time from January through February, which heaps of hot tournaments to get to, so make sure you get yourself to one or fewer of these ones. They're going to be incredible when we get running through this. Is just going.
Yeah, it might sound like a few, but there's only 20 odd spots left for Roxburgh at this very moment, guys. Just FYI, guys.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So we've got to be quick if you want to get into Roxburgh. So let's have a look. Taupo Thermal Throwdown. Johnny Wake is the favourite going into the 0.3. Luke Hempel at 7.8. Brian Rawlins 8.3. Steve Lawson 8.5. Toby Gentle at 10. And Mike Foley Barr at 16. And in old 6.6. Richard McDonald at 7s. Hayden Shaw at 10.2, and then Brett Carlisle and Barr at 11s. And changes to the power ranking. This is to 6th place. Luca LaBelle is a new entry at 18th, and Johnny Wake moves up 61.
Wow, a lot of movement.
19th. Thanks. Absolutely. I mean, if you've to Cowboy. Tied second, but he tied with Conor McKinstry. Finished ahead of Simon Feasy, ahead of many other, ahead of Mark Duckett. So that's not surprising that he's moved up to the position that he has. Over in the ladies' division, Kath Headley moves up 1. Victoria Speller moves up 1 space. And that just about does it for today.
Thank you so much for joining us and for putting up with. I think we've had some audio issues. Hopefully, it hasn't affected too much of what you can hear. I'm in a new environment, so that could have been something to do with it, but I probably not, because the facilities were incredible.
Yeah, I think at the beginning it was definitely me being relegated to the spare room away from the Wi-Fi. My bad. Sorry about that. But yeah, these things happen, guys. So onwards and upwards, move along. Matt, do you think you could show that video really quick to end us out, and we can just dive on out of there after that?
Let's see if we can find it. I'm sure I can. Give me a second.
It will be in your messenger as well.
Generation Disc Golf.
Yeah, man.
Posted it. Hey, there it is.
Yeah, man. Might as well share it out there.
A music podcast at 9 p.m. every Thursday. Coming off the tee box on the
Hang on a second.
play to the right, just to protect that next tee box, remembering that every single hole on this course, the road plays us out of bounds. We're going to come up here, we've got another mandatory play to the left of this tree to go up the tight line, right down under this tree to the pin.
We'll get there, team. No, you're all good,
Sorry,
man.
Morgan.
It's the people. I'm just hanging out. It's the people waiting for us.
I'm having some problems
playing that video. Look, head over to the Generation Disc Golf page on Facebook and have a look at that, and they will be able to. And you'll be able to check out the video there. We're sponsoring hole 10 at Wahitapu. It's going to be an absolute blast. Look, I'm very much looking forward to catching up with everybody at Taupo Thermal Throwdown this weekend. So very best of luck if you're playing there this weekend. Wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.